Catherine
and Cindy.
So today I came in to observe Cindy using those math tools that we originally talked about. So going back over our original goal, which was to incorporate more technology into math, and specifically looking for an independent math tool that kids could use once they finish their worksheet that they could then go on to, and we could also differentiate for enrichment or remediation. So when I came in, I observed you using those smart slides for the whole group lesson. The kids were actively engaged. You let them come to the board and circle the rows and columns. So great use of that tool.
Thanks.
And then the students went off and did their independent work. And then you kind of had them slowly log on to Prodigy using those student directions. So what we noticed going into that,
Right.
okay, was that it took them a while. Obviously, the login
Yes.
is a little funky because we cannot change their usernames. At least we changed the passwords.
Right.
But
So that was true. They just had to know that. But then creating that avatar
yeah.
that you can't go further until you create this fabulous avatar with hair color and eye color, and that was fun. It took a while.
Exactly. Okay, so given the time that we have today together, what's the most important thing that you think we should discuss?
That data that the students have, like I want to really look over that those who've logged in so far, like how are they doing on some of those skills that we thought they may have accomplished when we took assessments, but it's going to be interesting to see now that they've had a break for that and it's just reviewed, can they hold on to those skills?
Okay, so we'll go back into Prodigy and pull up that report to see. Obviously not everybody got to it today because we just introduced rows and columns, so it did take some of them a lot longer to get through their independent work, but we did have a couple logins, so we'll go in and see what they accomplished today as well. Okay, so going back over student data, because that's something that we mentioned we wanted to do. So looking at the Prodigy account, we just taught shapes in 2nd grade, so we wanted to see how the kids did based on that. So looking at the progress that they're making, what are you noticing in here?
Well, under struggling, that Wyatt and Assad are having a hard time just naming some of the shapes, it looks like. And then Rowan and Blakely and Kevin have mastered it, which is awesome.
Okay, so those two students are particularly struggling in naming of shapes, which obviously seems like something we need to go back and reassign, which is great because now we can go back into the Create Assignments tab.
Right.
And then we can click on 2D shapes.
Okay.
Specifically, we can take out everything that we don't need. So we can say that we want to classify and match the names.
Match the names, yeah.
But not necessarily we need 2D shape word problems just yet. If they can't name them, they're going to struggle with everything else.
Okay.
As well as comparing sides, we can unclick those. And then if we hit next, we see that there's 9 total questions. If you want to up those, you can.
Oh yeah, that's
so
great.
we can change it to
A bit more
5, 5 and 3. So they're up to 13 with a total estimated time of about 15 minutes.
Okay.
And then we can go in and assign it to those specific students. So Wyatt and Assad will be the only students assigned to that for right now.
Perfect.
So how do you feel about that?
That's awesome. I love this. This is great. Thanks for finding it.
Of course. Yeah, the reports are very helpful given that they're super specific.
Yes.
And there's lots of different ones that you can look at. I appreciate the fact that you can go in by student. It's not just a whole class report, because then you can see specifically what questions that they missed. So, yeah.
Perfect.
Okay, so looking at what we've done so far, what do you think has gone well with the use of Prodigy?
I love it that those who need to be enriched, like to kind of push them a little further. It's got some great skills for them to be able to do that. And then I can go back and see.
Please come to the front office. Isabella Salomon. Thank you.
Then I can go back and see how they're really doing on those things, like if I'm pushing them too much or if I can push them a little bit more. And then back to remediation, those kids who I can just say, you know what, I just need for you to practice your math facts. And it's a fun tool that they can use because they get to play games with it too.
Right. Okay, and you basically just answered the next question, which is what are you seeing that
sorry.
shows the strategy is successful, which is great. So you mentioned that kids are actively engaged. You can go back in and push those kids that need it further for enrichment, and you can also go back and reassign for remediation.
Yes.
So progress that you've made towards your goal so far, what do you think that progress is?
I think that, we finally found something because it took us a while to find the right program that engaged the kids, but also allowed us to pick individual skills instead of having to do the whole gamut, and the kids were getting frustrated with
Right.
that. I'm taking it baby steps
Right.
because not all the kids got to log in yet. Some of our kiddos, it takes a lot longer. Some of our kiddos still aren't past the avatar.
Right.
So we're just taking baby steps, but I'm pleased. I'm excited about this one.
Yeah. Okay. So it sounds like the thing that surprised you the most was how long it took them to create the avatar, as well as logging in. Is that correct?
Well, yes, and the fact that that avatar was a block for us,
Right.
that I thought we were just going to go right into it. So that's probably my fault. I really should have gone in and tried to create a fake student
Yeah.
and play with it more. So next time I know to do that and just kind of see the hurdles that I didn't think were coming.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, and my kids have logged in as well, and I didn't even know the avatar was a thing. I knew they had one, but I just assumed it populated it for them.
Right.
And they kind of just went off their merry way.
Right.
But the fact that they could choose it and it wouldn't even let you skip through it.
No, I know. It's
so-
like what color and what, and then different hairstyles.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And the different names and
Oh my gosh, that was a huge roadblock because it's like, okay, pick a name. And the rule is it can't be their own name. So they're like, oh, I could be a Caitlin or I could be a Carrie. I'm like, oh my goodness.
Exactly. Okay, so looking ahead, do you want to keep using the same strategy or do you want to change it to something different?
No, I really like this one because I want more kids to be able to log in, but also have the time. So I think next time I'm going to, or for the kids who haven't gotten to go to it yet, just because it took them so long to finish their practice pages, set aside time for them. Just say, okay, we're just going to have a fun, create our avatar and just knock that out and get that out of the way.
I think that's a great idea. So we established that we don't want to choose a new strategy. We want to continue working towards implementing that with those kids that didn't get to it just yet. But then assigning that time for them just to create their avatar.
Yes.
That way, the next time that everybody gets to log in, they can just go straight into
Yes.
the activities.
Right.
Okay, which means I don't think we really need to change our goal because we found that independent math tool that we wanted to use. We're incorporating technology, the kids are actively engaged, and we're able to enrich or remediate based on their assessments.
Perfect.
Okay, so looking ahead, when do you think we should meet again to discuss progress?
I think give me at least a week or a week and a half to make sure that I can allot that time that everyone gets through the avatar phase. And then I can start seeing how they're doing, playing the games and working on those skills would be great.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
So tasks to be done before we meet, like you said, have the kids log in and create the avatar and just have them kind of slowly progress through, maybe going back over the data, looking at what we need to assign for them moving forward. So that's more your role than mine because I don't have access to your class.
Yep, I will do that.
But on a scale of 1 to 5, how committed are you to this goal, or are you feeling comfortable with it?
No, my gosh, I love this. I'm so excited about this one versus what we had chosen the last time. So I really think Prodigy is going to be great for the kids and their enthusiasm. I mean, they're so excited, oh, I got this, or I got to this level. So that's really cool.
Perfect. All right. So about a week and a half, we'll meet again, go over how they've done, and then go from there.
Perfect.
All right. Sounds
Thanks,
good.
girl.